Hey everybody, I know what you're thinking. Sarah's posting 2 videos in one day. She must be sick. There must be something wrong. Why is she posting more than one video in a day when she hasn't posted in like 6 months? Well, it's because I'm sitting here with nothing better to do and might as well, right? I wanted to make this video to update everybody on what my breeding plans are for this year and what has been bred and happened and what hasn't and how things have progressed. Since I don't post for you guys very often, I wanted to try to at least update you while I can. I think that I mentioned earlier this year a bunch of breedings that were going to happen, and I don't know if they're all going to happen or not. So I'm just going to, update you on what is actually happening. I had a breeding early this year. Actually, it was late last year the breeding happened. And the female laid the clutch in January, and they hatched. And out of 13 eggs, 11 of them hatched. And out of those 11, 7 of them were kinked. And that's a real bummer. Pretty sure it was because at one point in the summer, or one point in the winter, the incubator, the power went out and the incubator dropped down to like 70 degrees. And then after the power came back on, the incubator came back up to like 82. So there was like a 10-degree gap, and that's usually not good, especially if you don't want babies to kink. And I did notice that all the ones that were kinked were kind of like all around the outside. I actually lay all my eggs flat in the containers, and the ones that are around the outside have the most exposure and the less insulation and all that. I mean, they're not insulated as well. So I think that they were that's probably why they got, the worst kinks, and those are the ones that didn't make it. They had a few deformities. They didn't even make it out of the egg. Like, they didn't even cut their own eggs, and they just weren't that great. So probably, like I said, that was because of that temperature drop. And now that it's actually spring here in Indiana, which it hadn't decided there for a bit if it was going to be spring or winter, but finally it's 70 outside right now, and hopefully it'll stay that way and get warmer instead of dropping down to below freezing like it did last week. Welcome to the Midwest. So other things that have happened. I had a Sunglow Motley female, and she was a first-time breeder this year. She bred to one of two males. I'm not sure which one exactly got her. The first option is another Sunglow. He's actually a Sunglow mask. He's a poppycorn line. And he's either homozygous or heterozygous for hypo. And he's possibly het diffused. I was told that he was het anery, and I was told that he was het for either Motley or Stripe or something. Not really sure. But I'm hoping that he's at least het for Motley if he bred to her, especially. Because she's line-bred Sunglow Motley. She's been line-bred for generations. There's probably no other genes as far as like hypo or anery or anything else in her. She's just been a line of Sunglow Motleys forever. So I'm hoping that he's at least het for Motley or Stripe. That way, I'll get some Sunglow Motleys out of the two of them. If he is not the one who bred to her, it was either going to be him, or I have a normal who's het for Sunglow Motley scaleless. I guess he's actually a red factor. He's not a normal. He's what you would consider a red factor. I'm not sure if he's a salmon or not, but he's definitely a red factor. And he's het for Amel Motley, he's from Sunglow Motley, and he's also het for scaleless. So, and he's the one I wanted to breed to her originally, but he didn't seem interested. So that's why I put the Sunglow male in with her. As far as like the timing of her laying eggs, it seems like she laid eggs a little earlier, for a little too early for it to be the Sunglow as the dad. But snakes have surprised me before and laid in a very short amount of time, so I'm not really sure who daddy is of that clutch. We'll find out. We'll find out in about a month. They've been incubating for about a month, and so it'll be about another month, and we'll find out who daddy was. Another couple breedings that happened, and I have eggs. One of them was my Gold Dust Motley female. She bred to, I believe, a Gold Dust Motley male. I say I believe that she normally gives me about a dozen eggs every year, and they're always fertile, like all of them, and they're always perfect, and I never have any issues with her. This year, however, she only laid like 8 eggs total, and only like 5 of them had any signs of life in them, and 2 of those 5, I'm not even sure actually have anything in them. They didn't look like slugs, but they still may have been. I don't know. I candle them once in a while, and it seems like they're maybe taken off with some veins, but it could be that the veins are just there, but they're still not fertile, and eventually nothing's going to happen with them. I don't know. So all that is to say, it's highly possible that she retained sperm from last year. If she did, I'm okay with it, because both of the males had all this like same genes in them, except I bred her to the Gold Dust Motley het anery this year, or at least I intended to. Last year she bred to an Ultramel Okatee Hetfer Caramel anery Motley. So I mean, all the same genes are there, just, you know, a different combination, that's all. And either way, I'm okay with it. I really didn't have any plans for her, so I just kind of thought, you know, the Gold Dust Motley male doesn't have a mate, and 2 Gold Dust Motleys, that'd be pretty cool, you know, to get some like ultra Motleys, you know, ultra lavender, or not ultra lavender, ultra caramel Motleys. But whatever, I really was kind of meh about it all. I don't really care. I am glad that she laid eggs and she's healthy and she's fine. She's in shed right now, and I'll feed her as soon as she sheds. Another female that bred was a charcoal lavender, hypo charcoal lavender. So I guess that would be, what is that? A phantom lavender? I don't know. Not a fan. I don't know. Whatever. And she is definitely het for stripe, amel, diffused. Possibly het for like caramel and anery and like a bunch of stuff. She's got a bunch of genes in her, and I bred her to a male sulfur, proven het for lavender. Sadly, he passed away after they bred because he had a damaged hemipene, and I didn't notice, and I believe it got infected and killed him, which is unfortunate. I'm very sad about it. And I was really hoping that I'd have some of his offspring with her, and I counted, she had 18 eggs, and I thought, great, this is going to be awesome. But if you follow me on Facebook at all, you'll know that things did not go according to plan. She laid 5 eggs of the 18, and of those 5 eggs, 4 of them were obviously infertile, and kind of waited and waited and waited for her to lay more, and she didn't. And she was still very obviously full of eggs, and tried to kind of help massage them out. I didn't want to hurt anything, so I didn't really force anything, and she never did lay, so I had to take her to the vet, and the vet was able to get her to pass a couple of eggs, which were infertile, and then he gave her, I think it's an oxytocin shot, and she passed a few more eggs on her own, and the last couple of eggs that she passed were starting to get a little hard, so I went ahead and aspirated all the rest of the eggs, which sucked because, like, I'm sure that some of them were still, you know, could have been fertile, and she's more worth it to me, though. She's worth, like, even if she never breeds again. Like, she's an amazing snake, and I'll never, you know, it was, what, like a $50 vet visit and aspirating some eggs. If she never breeds again, I'll still be okay with it. I'll still love her, and I'm still going to keep her. But I do have 1 fertile egg from her that's still growing and doing okay. And I hope that it hatches, crossing fingers, like, really hope that it hatches. I don't care if it's a male or female, I don't care what morph it is, I just want it to be a healthy little baby snaky that I can raise and keep forever. Some other things that are happening, my halo male, I had 2 male halos. One of them was actually sold to me as a female. I found out it was a male. And I tried to use him for breeding, but he didn't have any interest in breeding. He was a little small. So my big Halo male, my original boy, Hetfer Caramel Motley, bred to 3 females, 2 for sure. The third one I'm pretty sure he bred to. The first one that I know that he bred to is an Ultramel Motley, Het for Caramel and Anery, and if you know my Halo boy Prince, he's a Snow Het for Caramel Motley. So there's literally 16 different possibilities with that breeding, and I'm looking quite forward to it. The idea is to get some Halo Snows. She's from Halo Lines. Her grandparent or something was, or no, her father was a Halo Snow. So I'm looking pretty forward to that clutch. I also bred him to another Snow, Het Motley, and she produced Halos in 2014 when she bred to the aforementioned Gold Dust Motley Het Anery. And I've been trying to breed him with, and I'm not sure he's been successful yet, been trying to breed him with an Ultramel Anery, Het for Motley as well. She's also a Het for Sunkissed, so I imagine they'll make some pretty babies. So there's those 3. I had a Coral Snow female that bred to, I believe, another Coral Snow male, but and I counted eggs in her, like I counted like 13 eggs in her or something, but then like she had her prelay shed on the same day that a bunch of other, like 2 or 3 other females had their prelay shed, and she was nesting and all this stuff, and then like she just never laid. And then I went back and checked on her, and the eggs just kind of weren't, I couldn't feel the eggs in her anymore. So I'm wondering if maybe she didn't, I don't know, the eggs weren't fertilized and she just reabsorbed them or what. She seems to be doing okay though. She's been eating, she's been doing fine, she just didn't lay eggs. I'm giving her to a friend of mine as a pet, so I'm not going to have to worry about her and her breeding and whatever anymore. You know, I hate the idea of females reabsorbing eggs because I never really know how they're really doing. I mean, did they reabsorb it all the way? Is there going to be issues, you know? So she's just going to be a pet now, and that's fine. Let's see. Oh, I had a surprise breeding the other day. If you watch my Reptilink video, I mentioned that I had a female that I wasn't sure was going to be big enough to breed. But I've been feeding her lynx, and she got to weight. So she is actually an Amel Motley, Het for Caramel and Lavender. And I bred her to her brother, that's a Sunglow Motley, Het for Caramel and Lavender. And surprisingly, he was ready to breed. He's only like 80 grams, and he was ready to breed, which was crazy. I've actually paired them together like 4 or 5 times now. Young, small males like that, sometimes they don't have the highest like fertility rate, so I try to breed them as many times as possible to kind of get the fertility rate up between the 2 of them. We'll see how well that, see how that goes. But I'd really, really like to get some caramel opals here, caramel opal Motleys. It'll be really cool because they'll be red factor as well, some of them, hopefully, because the father was. I recently had a pair of Prairie Kings breed for me, my albino Prairie Kings. However, the female escaped shortly after breeding, and I still can't find her. That was like 2.5 weeks ago, and I have torn this place apart looking for her. They can hide in the smallest places, so you just never know. Hopefully she turns up before she lays eggs. That's the only thing. I've set down tape traps. There's not much else I can do. I've put, stuff under the door so she can't, like, get under the door, and I guess just gonna wait for her to crawl out of the hole that she's in somewhere. I don't know. Like I said, I've torn this place apart multiple times looking for her and cannot find her. And she can't get out of this room. Like, there's almost no way to get out of this room as a snake. I'm sure that there are ways to get out, but nothing that I would think that she could just get out. Because I found out that she was missing the same day that she got out. So it's not like she had been out for like days before I figured it out. It was one day, same day. So I'm hoping that she's just in here somewhere and I'll find her. I don't know what to say about that. I guess it happens. It sucks, but it happens. I will be getting a Tessera Stripe female pretty soon. I don't know of any other genes that she has in her, but I hope to be breeding her. She's supposed to be about up to size for breeding, so she might be kind of a late breeder for this year. We'll see. I'm trying to think of other females that I have that are breeding age or size. I just don't have that many this year, and I think part of that is I did reduce the collection quite a lot. I went from having like over 150 snakes down to having 50, and that 50 includes all species, males and females, babies, from babies to adults, like everything. I have slightly more than that now just because of the babies that recently hatched, but all of those babies are going to be sold. 2 of them have already gone to new homes, the kinked ones, and I'm giving them away to pet-only homes. Like, I don't want to send them off to be food for other animals. Not that that's cruel or anything. I would rather them have a pet home and give it away. Give them away to someone who will take care of them and not just feed them to something. But like I said, out of those 11, 7 of them were kinked, and 2 of them already went to new homes. 1 of them did pass away shortly after hatching, and then I have 4 more that the shipping's already been paid for, so I just gotta ship them to their new home. And then another one that wasn't kinked, that's been eating really well, is already sold. So after all of those go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm counting babies. There will only be, like 3 left or something? I don't know, something like that. 1 of them I do intend to keep, at least 1, maybe 2 of them. Depends on which ones eat and which ones, I have to, like, force feed or tease feed or, whenever they decide to eat on their own. But yeah, I don't plan on keeping too many babies from this year. 1 or 2 from that clutch that just hatched. They're an Ultramel clutch from my Ultramel line. And then the 1 from the 1 egg from the 1 female, that I mentioned earlier that had 18 eggs and only 1 was fertile. I want to keep that baby if it hatches and it's healthy. I don't know of any others that I'm really going to keep. I might keep some babies from the Amel Motley to the Sunglow, both het caramel lavender. I might keep a couple of those babies. We'll see, But in general, this is going to be a very strange year for me because I'm not keeping anything. I'm trying my hardest to not keep anything. And I'm going to keep trying to sell things. I did just buy that Tessera stripe, but that's after selling 3 other snakes or 4 other snakes, So, trying to keep my numbers balanced at about 50. And 50 seems like a lot to some people, but it's pretty well average. Well, actually, it's small if you're considering an actual breeder, especially someone who people think has a huge collection like me, and I don't have a huge collection. It's more than most people, but it's not, it's more than a pet owner, but it's small compared to other breeders, which, I feel like in a way that's a good thing. I can, take better special care of each of my animals instead of having so many that I can't even count them, It's like I can go through and I know, exactly who's in which container, and they all have names, for the most part, and, it's like I like to keep special track of them instead of just having so many that it's just a chore, or it's just, like one more thing to have in my house. They're my pets, and I want to be able to give them the special treatment that they deserve. So it's better to have fewer of them, so I can do that. I think that's it. I'm going to check again. I don't know. Like I said, I lose track of my females. I don't even... For having as few as I do as a breeder, I still don't keep track of all of my... I can't remember all of my females, which ones have laid and which ones haven't laid. I do have 2 spotted python females that I've been putting in with my male, and hopefully they're gravid. Hopefully. Don't know yet. And my African house snakes bred, but the male got hurt somehow during breeding, and so I've been letting him heal before trying to breed them again. Apparently he did not get the job done because she did lay, but she laid like 3 infertile eggs and that was it. So I think that, you know, she's just kind of age where now she's laying eggs, but none of them are fertile because he couldn't get the job done. So, and this is actually the second female that he's bred to that did the exact same thing. So I think probably it's the male is just not, he's just not a good male for the job. I may have to buy a different male and rehome this guy as a pet because he's not getting the job done. Okay, I'm going to end this video because it's been 20 minutes. My last video was 20 minutes. I keep thinking I'm going to make a shorter video, but I just never do. Sorry about that for anyone who, you know, is considering this as like a waste of time or whatever. But just trying to update you on everything that's going on. And I know that in my last video, or one of my last videos, you know, I said that probably by now I would be, like, moved out. And it's not necessarily by now. I'm actually moving in June. So, I mean, and it's April now. I'm moving the very beginning of June, and it's mid-April, so I have a month and a half before I move. But I'm trying to get done with this school year in college before I, like, really try to move. It's already, like, college is already stressful without moving. And so I really just want to, like, get the semester over with before I actually move. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry this took so long again. Go check out my page, Sarah's Snake Shop, on Facebook. That is my only website. I don't have another website. I could, but I'm too lazy for that. Like, might as well just use my Facebook. It's already there. And I will see you next time.